Well, this surprises no one. Brexit caused by low levels of education, studies find. A significant increase in higher education could have kept Britain in the EU. Britain would have likely voted to remain in the European Union were its population educated to a slightly higher level, a new study has found. Researchers at the University of Leicester say that had just 3% more of the population gone to university, the UK would have probably not be leaving the EU. Researchers looked at the reasons why people voted leave. Nope. Damn advert. Researchers looked to the reasons why the people voted to leave and found that whether someone had been to university or had accessed other higher education was a prominent factor in how they voted. The paper published in the peer-reviewed journal World Development applied a multi-virtual regression analysis and logic module to the areas of the country to identify why people had voted the way they did. The level of education in an area was far more important than age, gender, and the number of immigrants, or income in predicting the way an area voted, the research found. Age and gender were both significant, but not as important as education level. The researchers found income and the number of immigrants in an area were not found to be a significant factor in how people voted. The researchers also found that a lower rate of turnout by just 7% would have also likely have changed the result to Remain. The last Labour government set a target for half of young people accessing higher education, and there has been a large expansion in the numbers in recent decades. Universities, the UK says it expected the number of people in employment with higher education qualifications to rise from 28.7% in 2002 to 51.3% in 2020. Dr. Arjazang from the University of Leicester Department of Mathematics said that the EU referendum raised significant debate and speculation of the intention of the electorate and its motivations in voting. Much of the debate was informed by simple data analysis, examining individual factors in isolation and using opinion polling data. This is the case of the EU referendum. There were multiple factors and the influence of the decision simultaneously failed to predict the eventual outcome. On the June 23rd of 2016, Britain's vote to leave the EU came as a surprise to most observers, with the biggest voter turnout of 72.2% than that of any UK general election in the past decade. British voters voted by 52% to 48% to leave the EU in the referendum held. Oh, that's it. But yeah, that should surprise no one. Lower levels of education, it doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all, and it probably shouldn't surprise anyone else out there, given the fact of what we are essentially facing. Now, I think education is important. I think this is something that we should always aspire to, regardless of your educational background. I do believe everyone and anyone should get the chance and opportunity to go to university, and I am fully behind that the government should have programs for those people are coming from underprivileged, underfunded backgrounds to go to university. They should be given every single opportunity, and I fully believe we need to even go further and push for people from poor and disadvantaged backgrounds to be completely funded in their university studies. I think this would benefit the UK massively in the long run. I am a massive advocate for education, and I think this is definitely something should happen, because if we do get our population more educated, not only will they be more resistant to Tory lies, but we will also end up with a more highly educated, more educated populace, which is a good thing for this country, and it will eventually lead us back into the EU faster.